Hey now, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It is July 17th. My name is Deanna, and I'm streaming out of Humboldt County about Humboldt County to Humboldt County and anyone else who cares. But really, I'm streaming about our principles of our Constitution. And we are on number 23 from this book that took 40 years to develop by Dr. Skousen. And we're going to be doing a quiz on education first. And then I'm going to be reading the next principle, which is the 24th principle, I believe. Yeah, 24th principle. It's only a couple pages long. Peace through strength. We'll be going through peace through strength. A free people will not survive unless they are strong. So I guess I'll be talking to myself for a while here. Nobody's getting notifications. I am still being punished by Facebook. I can't stream on Facebook, but anymore, I just feel like that's got to be just a data bank. It was for my family to stay connected with my family that's 2,300 miles away from me. I always used to enjoy Facebook, but now I'm just like, man, this is going to be held and used against me later, isn't it? Good morning, Echo. So good to see you. Thank you for checking in with me and saying hello. It always makes me feel better that somebody's here, especially you. Got a notification today? Cool. I don't think I'm getting a notification today, but that's okay. I'm so happy you're here, and thank you for the 5x5. Thank you for your support, being a great friend and a great researcher. Let's go to the questions. I do have them up on the screen. This morning, I couldn't find 24's pictures. I had to upload them today for some reason. I didn't have them. But these are the questions I'm going to be answering real quick, lickety split, and then I'll read the 4 pages from the next chapter. So here we go. Number 1, the Founding Fathers were the first to believe the whole people should be... Where is my answers? Because... educated. Duh. That's what this previous principle was all about. The 22nd principle. A free society cannot survive as a republic without a broad program of general education. It's basically about public school. France had a literacy rate of about 2%. In 1647, Massachusetts passed a law requiring a community of 50 families to have a grammar school. Number 4, a community of 100 families were required to have a secondary school. Number 5, John Adams wrote in 1776, an American who could not read or write was as rare as a comet or an earthquake. Number 6, according to Adams, what do rulers dread most? People's knowledge of their character and conduct. Number 7, name 2 functions of a good school board in early America. Well, and we have 3 here. Visit each school monthly. 2, select the textbooks. And 3, select and certify the teachers. Number 8, describe 3 things about the civility of the American pioneers. Number 1, they were well-dressed. 2, well-spoken. 3, industrious. 4, religious. And 5, knowledgeable about events. 6, wait, did I get something screwed up here? I feel like I messed something up here. I think these questions are out of order. Jurors dread most. Book were school children studying about politics. What book were school children studying about politics? Okay, I think I was on number 9, right? Sorry. What book were school children studying about politics? The Catechism on the Constitution. Oh, I should have got that one out. That's another one I wanted to do with you guys. That's a great book. Okay, number 10. Daniel Webster said Americans were speaking, is it English? It's my answer. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not together. My head is swimming this morning. According to Webster, the Bible was the best source of knowledge about responsibility and dignity. That was the next answer. Yeah, I'm all screwed up. Yeah, they were speaking English better than the English. I knew the answer was English. Okay. 11, according to Webster, the Bible was the best source of knowledge about responsibility and dignity. Give the three-pronged formula for a good education system: locally supported, parent-directed, and professionally assisted. Right, the 23rd principle of liberty. A free society cannot survive as a republic without a broad program of general education. And today we would call that public school, wouldn't we? But public school is far from what we would have thought today. Well, I think I need to publish. I have all these things ready. I just didn't publish it. That's what's going on. I had to upload these. I'm like, where's 23? I must have skipped principle 23 the last time I did this study, because either that or I don't know where the photos went. They were not in my data bank here. So weird. Hi, Ostawa. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I so appreciate my students. Okay. Let's check it out. Now we should be here. 24th principle. A free people will not survive unless they stay strong. Freedom through strength. And I've heard all my life, it was often referred to, quoted from Reagan, peace through strength, along with trust but verify, another favorite. Okay, just 4 pages here today, guys, real quick. Oh, I wanted to tell you, I got myself a new coffee mug. Do you like it? My coffee tasted super good out of it this morning. And I got a sticker too. Save America. Yes. Yes. I do love Salty Cracker. He keeps me sane. I don't know what I would do without him. Being that he's in San Francisco and was a liberal and now speaks out, you know, he's special. He's special to me. 24th principle. A free people will not survive unless they stay strong. A free people in a civilized society will, always tend toward prosperity. In the case of the United States, the trend has been toward a superabundant prosperity. Only as the federal government has usurped authority and intermeddled with the free market economy has this surge of prosperity and high production of goods and services been inhibited. But prosperity in the midst of thriving industry, fruitful farms, beautiful cities, and flourishing commerce always attracts the greedy aspirations of predatory nations. Singly, these covetous predators may not pose a threat, but federated together, they might present a specter of total desolation to a free, prosperous people. Before the nation's inhabitants are aware, their apocalypse of destruction is upon them. It was the philosophy of the founders that the kind hand of Providence had been everywhere present in allowing the United States to come forth as the first free people in modern times. They further felt they would forever be blessed with freedom and prosperity if they remained a virtuous and adequately armed nation. Franklin's philosophy of defense. Clear back in 1747, Benjamin Franklin vividly comprehended the task ahead. Said he, "Were this union formed, were we once united, thoroughly armed and disciplined, were everything in our power done for our security, as far as human means and foresight could provide, we might then, with more propriety, humbly ask the assistance of heaven and a blessing on our lawful endeavors. Peace was the goal, but strength was the means. Franklin envisioned the day when a prudent policy of national defense would provide the American people with the protection which their rise to greatness would require. He wrote, "The very fame of our strength and readiness would be a means of discouraging our enemies. For 'tis a wise and true saying that one sword often keeps another in the scabbard. The way to secure peace is to be prepared for war. They that are on their guard and appear ready to receive their adversaries are in much less danger of being attacked than the supine, secure, and negligent." Franklin further saw that those in authority have the inherent responsibility to initiate the means by which adequate defenses could be provided. He declared, "Protection is as truly due from the government to the people as obedience from the people is due to the government." In later life, he held the same solid philosophy of peace through strength as an assurance of survival in the future. Our security lies, I think, in a growing strength, both in numbers and wealth. That creates an increasing ability of assisting this nation in its wars, which will make us more respectable, our friendship more valued, and our enmity feared. Thence it will soon be thought proper to treat us not with justice only, but with kindness. And thence, go away. Excuse me, I'm trying to do something here. Thence we may expect in a few years a total change of measures with regard to us, unless by a neglect of military discipline we should lose all martial spirit, and our Western people become as tame as those in the Eastern dominions of Britain, India, when we may expect the same oppressions. For there is much truth in the Italian saying, "Make yourselves sheep, and the wolves will eat you." Franklin disgusted with popular apathy. Franklin had a low opinion of people who waved the flag of liberty, but would do little or nothing to provide the means for defending it. His mindset called for action to back up the words. Writing from England, he declared, "Our people certainly ought to do more for themselves. It is absurd the pretending to be lovers of liberty while they grudge paying for the defense of it. It is said here that an impost of 5% on all goods imported, though a most reasonable proposition, had not been agreed on by all the states, and was therefore frustrated, and that your newspapers acquaint the world with this, with the non-payment of taxes by the people, and with the non-payment of interest to the creditors of the public. The knowledge of these things will hurt our credit." The thoughts of George Washington. George Washington is often described as first in peace, first in war, first in the hearts of his countrymen. No American occupied a more substantive position, either then or now, to proclaim what he considered to be a necessary posture for the preservation of the nation. He had literally risked his life, his fortune, and his sacred honor for the cause of freedom, and performed that task under circumstances which would have smothered the endurance of men with lesser stamina and courage. He fought the Revolutionary War with no navy of any consequence, no trained professional army of either size or stability, and no outpouring of genuine support from the very states he was striving to save. He could have retired in bitterness after Valley Forge and Morristown, but that was not his character. He did not relish the anguish of it all, but he endured it. To George Washington, it was all part of structuring a new nation. Washington's position on national defense was in terms of grim realities experienced on the field of battle. No man wanted more peace than he, and no man was willing to risk more in life and property to achieve it. In nearly the same words as Franklin, he declared, "To be prepared for war is one of the most effectual means of preserving peace." Washington also saw the fallacy of waiting until an attack had occurred before marshaling available resources. He wrote, "A free people ought not only to be armed, but disciplined, to which end a uniform and well-digested plan is requisite." Washington also saw the fallacy of a policy of interdependence with other nations, which made the United States vulnerable in time of war. In his first annual address to Congress, he spoke of the people's general welfare, then stated, "And their safety and interest require that they should promote such manufactories as tend to render them independent of others for essentials, particularly military supplies." Washington felt that neither politics nor world circumstances should lure the American people into a posture of complacency. He felt that vigilance was indeed the price of freedom, and unless it was promoted with firmness and consistency, the future of the United States would be in jeopardy. In another speech, he said, "The safety of the United States under divine protection ought to rest on the basis of systematic and solid arrangements, exposed as little as possible to the hazards of fortuitous circumstances." Washington's fifth annual address to Congress. As president, Washington perceived the tendency of Congress to avoid its responsibilities to provide adequate defenses. Because the president was personally responsible for the nation's foreign relations, he was well aware that the newborn United States had a long way to go to ensure decent respect and deference from the arrogant European powers. In his fifth annual address to Congress, he said, "I cannot recommend to your notice measures for the fulfillment of our duties to the rest of the world without again pressing upon you the necessity of placing ourselves in a condition of complete defense and of exacting from them the fulfillment of their duties toward us." Washington could already see the predatory monarchs of Europe planning to slice up the United States and divide it among them unless the people alerted themselves to the exigencies of the day. The British still had their troops stationed along the northern border of U.S. territory. The Spanish had definite aspirations to make a thrust into the Mississippi heartland. From Washington's point of view, all was not well in America's Happy Valley. Therefore, he told the Congress, "There is a rank due to the United States among the nations which will be upheld, if not absolutely lost, by the reputation of weakness. If we desire to avoid insult, we must be able to repel it. If we desire to secure peace, one of our most powerful instruments of our rising prosperity, it must be known that we are at all times ready for war. A duty to the Creator to preserve freedom and unalienable rights." Samuel Adams emphasized the moral responsibility of Americans to preserve the heritage of freedom and unalienable rights with which the Creator had endowed them. Once these blessings have been vouchsafed to a human being, Sam Adams felt it was a wicked and unnatural thing to allow those great fruits of liberty to languish by neglect or apathy. When individuals combine into a society, they bring all of their natural rights with them. Under no circumstance must these be allowed to dwindle away. Said he, "It is the greatest absurdity to suppose it would be in the power of one or any number of men at the entering into society to renounce their essential natural rights or the means of preserving those rights, when the grand end of civil government, from the very nature of its institution, is for the support, protection, and defense of those very rights, the principle of which are life, liberty, and property. If men, through fear, fraud, or mistake, should in terms renounce or give up any essential natural right, the eternal law of reason and the grand end of society would absolutely vacate such renunciation. The right to freedom being the gift of God Almighty, it is not in the power of man to alienate this gift and voluntarily become a slave." The American inheritance. Thus the founders passed on to their prosperity a policy of peace through strength. They were peace-loving but not pacifists. They called for a rugged kind of strength bolted to a broad base. They saw the foundation for their security in a bustling, prosperous economy with a high standard of public morality, and they saw the necessity for a level of preparedness which discouraged attack from potential enemies by creating a rate of risk so high that the waging of war against this nation would be an obviously unprofitable undertaking. As Samuel Adams wrote to a sympathetic friend in England, it is the business of America to take care of herself. Her situation, as you justly observe, depends upon her own virtue. And I'm really excited about the next lesson, which is the next principle: peace, commerce, and honest friendship with all nations, entangling alliances with none. I really learned a lot on that one the last time I did this. And I really love that. Hey, D Got Sauce, good to see you. Haven't been around in a while. Haven't got to check on your streams in a bit, too. I hope you're doing good. Read that again about waving the flag. Yeah, the apathy. I feel that for sure. He was disgusted with people that could wave the flag but do nothing to protect it, right? Where's that? I felt that too. I did want to reread that. Franklin had a low opinion of people who waved the flag of liberty but would do little or nothing to provide the means for defending it. That's for sure. I feel that. You guys know I feel that. I need to get off here before I speak my mind too much. I don't have a lot of good things to say. I barely made it in time. I want to go out and garden. I'm really tired of all the sensationalism, of all the love that people have for so many things. But yeah, they're not willing to really do much about it. And I know my friends here in Humboldt are kind of frustrated with me because I'm not going to the rallies and I'm not going to the meetings, and I'm studying, I'm learning, I'm listening and joined with people that I do believe are very effective, that are more effective than, just standing out there in front of the courthouse. While I love those people that do that, I want to spend my time doing things that I believe will be actually effective. So I just have too much in my brain I don't want to say. And I really love you guys, and I thank you for being here. It's great to see you all. Oh, 112 degree. That's too much. It's been so long. It's great to see you, D Got Sauce. I hope you're doing well. Boston strong, baby. I'll see you guys. I don't know when I'll see you guys. I'd like to stream and do a garden stream and see how's your garden going. I'd like to show off my garden. I got the biggest garden I've ever had. I got 55 stalks of corn growing, you guys. I've never grown that much corn before. I only grew corn last year, and I only grew like 6 stalks. So I'm pretty pumped. I got green beans and cabbages and squashes and tomatoes, and it would be nice to get together with you guys and just talk about gardening, wouldn't it? Yeah, I love you guys. I really love you. I pray the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and give you peace. The Lord be gracious unto you. I pray protection for your family, protection for your mind, body, and spirit. Thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate y'all. See you on the next one.